What's up, man? I see you got motions written up here for the Honorable Judge Hung. Is that his name? Hung, right?
Yeah. Ironic, huh?
It is kind of.
All right. So let's do a little intro first. First off, I'm the guy that pointed out the drug war is treason. So I ended it at that moment. Really. I really did. But I'm going to continue to show how to end it in your life. So the way we're doing that is, we've got motions put together. This one here is actually just a notice, not a motion. Notice to the court regarding filming rights under First Amendment, 14th Amendment, 10th Amendment, and Article 6 Supremacy Clause. Comes now Kennedy Walker, the defendant in the above captioned case, appearing pro se, to notify the Honorable Court of the following First Amendment rights. Under the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, the defendant asserts the right to film proceedings as an exercise of freedom of the press. The right is fundamental and protected under federal law. 14th Amendment rights. The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, such as freedom of press, right? Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. These protections ensure that the defendant's First Amendment rights are upheld at the state level. 10th Amendment restriction on state laws. The 10th Amendment in the United States Constitution reserves to the states all powers not delegated to the federal government, nor prohibited by it to the state. However, this does not permit states to enact laws, policies. Move on. Oh, shit. Where are we? Ordinance nor orders that violate federally protected rights, such as those guaranteed by the First and 14th Amendment. Supremacy Clause, Article 6. Pursuant to Article 6 of the United States Constitution, the Supremacy Clause mandates that federal law take precedence over state laws. Therefore, the rights guaranteed under the First, 14th, and 10th Amendments are binding upon this court and must be upheld. Judges are bound to the laws, not to case precedent, not to policy, not to judges' orders, not to pink buffaloes. Previous deprivation of rights. The defendant asserts that this court has already deprived the defendant of the right to film proceedings. Specifically on July 10th, 24, in this court, Judge Hung prohibited the defendant from filming, in violation of the First and 14th Amendments. This notice serves to rectify that violation and to assert the defendant's intention to exercise the protected right to film moving forward. Relief requested. The defendant respectfully requests that all signs violating the law under Article 6, or at least not in violation of the Article 6 Supremacy Clause, be removed from all public property throughout Malheur County. Furthermore, the defendant requests explicit acknowledgement and affirmation of the right to film all court proceedings and interactions with public officials related to this case, including but not limited to the signs on the doors to Courtroom 1. Right? We've been talking about these signs for a minute.
Yeah, yep.
Non-negotiable assertion of rights. This notice serves to inform the court that the defendant will be exercising the aforementioned rights. This is not a request for permission, but a declaration of the defendant's intentions to exercise rights protected by the highest law of the land. The court is bound to uphold these constitutional protections. Guys, ChatGPT wrote this. I just told it some points. So what they're saying is what the AI came up with. And I'm just telling them which thing. I'm just giving them a little note about, wanting all these signs taken down, for instance. And this is what they come up with. This is what they come up with for a non-negotiable assertion of rights. That I have an inalienable right under Article 6. It's freedom of press.
Yep. They'll put it in some words that maybe these dumbass lawyers and judges will understand.
They do a great
Non-negotiable.
job of putting it into, yeah, that's very assertive, right? That's very
Absolutely.
assertive.
Yeah, I love the way Chat GPT wrote it up because it doesn't pull any punches, man. It's 1, 2, 3, body blow, right, left hook, blah blah. Man, it's. I can't believe that the text AI hits this hard, bro. I mean,
Hits it hard.
it's pretty.
They
man, I mean,
add
it's
things that I couldn't add, and I consider myself basically an expert. And yet and I'll ask them once we're done with a document, okay, what do you suggest? Because then it'll be like, well, how about, why don't you put in a relief requested? That's how I got this. What do you want them to do? Well, actually, I want them to take down all these unconstitutional signs. Great. Now it's a point that, see, they suggested that point to me. I said, after I was done with with my judgment, then I just asked for what they thought, and they helped. So, potential remedies. The defendant will consider any violation of these rights and any instance of disorderly conduct under Oregon law, specifically for violating the defendant's lawful business and creating a public threat or alarm by threatening the defendant with contempt of court without any complainant in the original case, nor the contempt accusation being valid under Article 6. Such actions will be seen as a 14th Amendment violation and a breach of both local and federal law. The defendant will press criminal charges in response to such violations. The defendant expects full compliance with the United States Constitution and the protections it affords. Guys, when you go into court, you're supposed to know what the outcome is going to be already. You're already supposed to know. We have a law, it's written down. So
yeah, it's not rocket science. We're not putting together, a fucking mission to Mars. This is really simple, really basic.
Any obstruction or interference with these rights will be considered a violation of constitutional law and will be addressed accordingly. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the other document. Now, that was a notice to inform the court that we will be filming and that you can't stop me. And if you do stop me, it's a crime.
Yeah, it's disorderly conduct.
This here is a motion to compel discovery. Yeah, what you're saying, it's disorderly conduct under state law. Okay? It's also probably something like official oppression.
Yeah, official oppression, conspiracy.
Well,
we got
conspiracy might be a federal. And then deprivation of rights would be federal. And then
it's definitely a 204 for sure, man. You've already got enough for that.
Did you notice how I didn't actually arrest him until he started trying to deprive me of rights, specifically my right to film? It's because he, look, it's cognizance of guilt. When they try and stop you from filming their crimes, it's that they know that they're committing crimes. So knowingly, willfully, negligently, what are the other ones? Anyways, that's that they're knowingly doing it. Like when they refuse to ID themselves, it's because they're knowingly breaking the law. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what's the one requirement to join the socialist just us system? The ability and the will to commit crimes.
It really is.
You have to be willing to commit crimes and cover up for the other criminals.
You refuse to work, and because of that, you sit around and play on your phone all day, but then once in a while, they're like, all right, go commit a crime, and you're like, well, I've been sitting around all week.
Yeah, why not?
So I guess I'll do as I'm told so I don't get fired. And it's just, yeah. Could you do me a favor and read this one?
Yep. Okay, here's the declaration of pro se at the beginning. Number one, background. On July 17th, 2024, At 1:15 p.m., the defendant served a request for discovery upon the prosecution in this case, seeking all evidence related to the alleged offenses, including but not limited to witness statements, police reports, and any other relevant documentation. Okay, 2, non-compliance. Despite the defendant's request, the prosecution has failed to produce the requested discovery material or has provided incomplete or insufficient responses. The defendant has made multiple attempts to follow up with the prosecution to obtain the required materials, including that needs to be filled in. You have to let him know that. Number 3, legal basis. Under Oregon law, the applicable rules of criminal procedure, the prosecution is required to provide discovery to the defendant in a timely manner. The defendant's request for discovery is made pursuant the ORS, which is Oregon State Code or something. Yeah. Which mandates that the prosecution provide all relevant evidence and information to the defendant. So he's got a couple of fields that need to be filled in there. Need for discovery. Discovery is essential for the defense, basically. Belief of withholding evidence, number 5. The defendant believes that the prosecution is withholding discovery material because it contains substantial evidence of treason and terrorism. This belief is based upon the fact that they're all traitors. That they all committed the crime of treason in the courtroom every day, all day. Number 6, request for specific discovery. This would be time, place, and manner stuff here. Obviously, it's evidence, but basically he's asking for the discovery of evidence as it existed the day before the defendant's initial discovery request.
So what I'm asking for, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
What I'm asking for specifically is prosecution produce all discovery as they intend to present it, and additionally provide all discovery as it existed the day before the defendant's initial discovery request to ensure no exculpatory evidence has been excluded. Exculpatory means evidence that, obviously proves that I'm innocent or gives me grounds to have the case dismissed or anything that helps me.
Yeah.
Equal protection violation. Sorry, go ahead.
It's proof of innocence, exculpatory, or proof that there's no way you could have done whatever they said.
Right. And so that's why I'm asking for 2 discoveries. 2. Because I already told them that they were guilty of crimes and I want them to produce evidence of it. Remember, we already showed that in a video. And I told them clearly what they were doing was taking part in a war against the American people, the drug war. That's treason. Forcing their religion. That's terrorism. At the peril of a gun, specifically. Using the state to prosecute me. That's a, face my accuser violation. Anyways, equal protection violation. The prosecution has conditioned the provisions of discovery on the defendant's payment, which constitutes a violation of the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. Equal protection under the law, guys. The defendant has requested that discovery be provided by email to avoid any costs associated with physical materials. The prosecution has informed the defendant that payment would not be required if the defendant were represented by counsel, thereby imposing an extra hurdle on the defendant as pro se litigant and violating the principle of equal protection under the law. I won't give them money for what. I mean, mainly,
You've already paid them.
I don't want to be seen as giving aid and comfort to the enemy.
Right. I mean, we already paid for the stuff.
This is
How many times do we got to pay for it?
Yeah, it's all under threat, duress, and coercion. I'm not backing down from that idea. Why would I?
No, why? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The nerve of those people to say it wouldn't cost you anything if you had a lawyer. That's what amazes the shit out of me. They got some nerve, man, just to tell you that.
I could use a lawyer, but look at this motion. We're not even into the case yet. And this is what I've put together. So it's like, dude, you think some fucking publicly educated slob can do a better job? No way.
No.
All
no
right.
way.
Request for payment exemption refused. The defendant has requested a payment exemption form, but the prosecution has refused to provide it. Prosecutorial misconduct. After being informed of their multiple violations, the prosecution has refused any further correspondence with the defendant. This conduct can be considered prosecutorial misconduct or malicious prosecution. As it appears, the prosecution is fully cognizant. That means your thoughts.
Right.
Cognitions
It means that you understand.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Cognizant means that you know something. Just different conjugations of the same word. Cognizant of their actions and their impact on the defendant's rights. Pressing state's religion as terrorism. Pressing the state's religion at the barrel of a gun constitutes terrorism. The action of the police and the state in enforcing laws that conflict with the defendant's religious practices, using threats and force, amount to religious persecution and terrorism. The further underlines the violation of the defendant's First Amendment right and the unlawful nature of the charges. Relief requested. The defendant respectfully requests that the court issue an order compelling the prosecution to produce the requested discovery materials without requiring payment and within 7 days from the court's order, which this is a hole in what I'm doing right now. I actually can't walk right now. I've got my foot elevated and stuff you can't see. I'm bedridden though right now. So I need a motions hearing. And I guess I just need it for the narrow focus of compelling the prosecution to produce the discovery, even though I have obviously a whole bunch of different motions. I can't really do a full motions hearing until I get that discovery because, I'm going to be doing things like suppressing evidence that they're claiming in their discovery. So,
right.
I have a general version put together. I could put that in. I'm not sure what the right answer is on that. I can't walk. I don't think they do video court, but I can request it. And that's probably what I just need to do. So, he needs to rule on this motion is what I'm saying. And the only way that we can have a ruling, as far as I know, is that we need a motions hearing. So now another form. So I'll just copy this text out of ChatGPT and I'll say, craft me a motion for motions hearing with the narrow focus of this, and remind the court that once discovery is produced, we're going to have a more complete motions hearing. Right?
Of course.
And then the next part is just a request for extension. Since the prosecution has created an unnecessary delay, the defense may need extra time for comprehensive motions. A September court date is just unreasonable at this point because of the state's delay tactics. Okay, yeah, that's it. And then it's, signed or something at the bottom, but that's it.
It looks pretty comprehensive, man. I mean, you've got a couple of spots that are like fill in this statute or the other.
Oh yeah, there was a couple of things. I missed them, but honestly, I consider it basically irrelevant. And yeah, I should have it filled in. I just need to have it filled in before we do the motions hearing, really. And I can't do the motions hearing right now, but I did want to get that on the record that I'm going to be requesting this. I can't leave my house right now. I can't even really get up right now. So
sucks, man. Sucks. Well, man, look
at show how pointless all their endeavors are. It's like, dude, really stop attacking fucking retards. Dude, what's the point? How does it benefit you? Who's injured? No one. So no one gives a shit but you. And it's just, I'm the victim. Sure you are. You're not the victim.
Well, that's what they do. They play the victim. We're the good guys. You're fucking with us. Why won't you just let us do our jobs? Yeah, this is not unique. This prosecutor saying, well, don't bother us anymore. That's bullshit, man.
Oh, they don't even answer because, obviously it looks like they're dirtbags if they say anything. But to tell you the truth, it's Friday today. And so that means unless I receive it today, we're looking at basically 3 weeks by Monday because I put it in 3 weeks ago next Tuesday where I asked for the discovery. And it's just like, dude, we have court in like 6 weeks from the beginning of this. And you're taking 3 weeks to get a discovery together. Not that it matters, but it's like, honestly, I'm just going to write it all up in a day or something. But in 20 minutes, probably, really. But still, they need to, I need time to consider my rough draft. That means that's why I've already showed you guys a rough draft and then completed it a bit more and showed you that because you need time. That's what I learned in college. Write your rough draft early and then you sit and think about it. So even when you're having lunch, you're working on your paper. And then when you get to your paper on the computer, then you're like, okay, yeah, I thought about this. I didn't like it. Change it to this.
That's how you write papers. That's how you get your papers done. Again, it's a basic progression. I can't believe these people are really holding you up. But again, man,
are they?
It
seems to me like the prosecution's just getting ready to dismiss the case.
Well, if they look, I don't think they have anything.
No, they don't.
I don't. Well, how can they possibly have anything? Did they have a search warrant for the house or just an arrest warrant for you?
They don't have any evidence that I did anything.
Right, right. So they got no case, man. They're dragging you through all this because some cop got his ass hurt.
Well, at this point, though, that cop has made sworn statements. Okay, now that's a problem because
it's crime anyway. But
yeah, exactly. But if you're going to go around pretending that you've got proof that this man's got possession of something, then you're going to have to at some point produce that proof.
Yeah, you're going to have to prove it. That's what they always say. Prove it. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? They can't. Yeah, the fact that they're stonewalling you,
it's irrelevant because it's null and void. Because I have
that's right.
a right to freedom of religion and stuff like that. So, I'm an expert in like procedural law. Okay, so I'm not really trying to get into it with these idiots about whether I even had the substance or not. Bro, the whole thing is fucking stupid. The whole reason I'm allowed to grow it here is because it's legal. So I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And then, if you look at the state law, it's so goddamn confusing. No one's bound to stupid shit like that. Bro, you're bound to things that you can understand. And if it's not understandable, if it lacks a complainant, that's what I understand is that I need an injured complainant. That's what I understand. So what? Where's the injured complainant? No, there isn't one. No one gives a shit about your crap. I'm the victim. No, you're not. You're doing just fucking fine. And honestly, we need to fire most of you and get this back to America the Great instead. Make America great by what did he call it? Making it so you can't charge cops with crimes and signing fucking $6 trillion socialist packages. We're going to make America great by taking all power and control away from all Americans and that they can just be servants existing to fund your war machines and you can just go kill people. Right. You're like the worst people on earth and you want us to fucking give you more authority and money and power. Like what? Conservative.
Yeah, we want you to pay.
I'm a conservative.
Yeah,
we want a joke.
We want to. Yeah, we want to turn America into an open air pig shooting range, man. If they,
Right.
okay, first of all, that's never going to happen because nobody's going to allow
Well,
that
it's
to
a
happen.
14th Amendment violation, equal protection under the law. So if a cop commits a crime against you, that's already a protected thing where he gets charged just like you would get charged for committing a crime against him. Equal protection under the law. These guys think that they're the only ones that exist and that they just run around being kings and they design charges on you and you don't design any charges on them. We're totally, bro, these trolls come to my channel and they'll bring that up like it's a point against me. Oh, how did your arrest go? Well, didn't you see me lawfully arrest someone under the state law for citizen's arrest? And then didn't you watch these people that have taken an oath to uphold and defend this law? Didn't you watch them collaborate against me? Bro, you're not making a point against me. You're making a point against these oath breakers. Because basically what we know about them is that the only thing they're not going to honor is their oath.
They're never going to do that.
Every once in a while, I have a military bitch show up at my channel and say, I'm America, fuck you. And you know what I'll say is that, no, dude, you're a socialist fucking invader, and you need to start earning your own way in this life. And you know what? You're committing stolen valor right now because you're saying you're a veteran. And that's bullshit because Congress doesn't even declare wars anymore. So you couldn't possibly be a veteran. What it is, I'm a veteran. I fought the government in the drug war. Veteran. Does that mean I got veteran benefits and all that? No. Not at all. Which makes the... Do you understand how the cost becomes even higher for a real veteran? Do all of this on their own dime. All of this at their own risk. Your sound just went out.
Holy shit. I didn't even touch it. I shook my head and it went off.
I almost got tricked into joining the army. But that's because what? Because at work, bro, listen, I've worked basically my whole life, even as a kid. Building houses as a kid with my dad, literally. Packing bricks around in tongs, packing fucking buckets of mud, mixing up mortar, setting up scaffolding. That's what I did as a kid. And I was a fully trained mason by the time I was 18. But it's hard work, and the bankers take all the profit, to tell you the truth. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man.
That's the whole thing about all these jobs. You're like, well, I just work at Circle K or whatever, gas station. And I've just, make minimum wage and stuff. Well, yeah, but the thing is that once you pay your bills, that minimum wage turns into like $300, right? For the month. And it's just like, God damn it. So actually, I worked all those hours for $300, basically. And it's like, just, people are just siphoning off all this money. And it's just... 30% of the workforce is socialists, guys. So that means that your check would be minimum 30% higher and really much more than that because just one of these wars that they go to is billions of dollars. Just supporting Ukraine is billions of dollars. So it's like we're looking at way more than just paying a third of the workforce to pretend to work, We're actually paying like 100% of their 100% of their bills, which eventually we pay, whether it's through loans or whatever it is a giant portion of our personal income. A giant portion. More than half, I don't know what it is. They say America has one of the lowest tax rates, but
it's income tax though.
The
income tax rate.
Our expenditures are huge, and we're being taxed for every one of them all the way along the way after our income tax. which is not an apportioned tax as far as we can tell. Think about a rich person that doesn't have income the way that a gas station employee has, where they're able to write off all of their taxes because it's not what you do. Everything for them is a business expense or whatever. And everything for you is just like, well, it's all taxable and like. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's we're walking uphill in a fucking blizzard, man, for sure. For sure. But got to get the paperwork in if we're going to change anything, and that means becoming a complainant.
first off, start telling the truth in these complaints. It's not about your bullshit. It's not about your emotions. It's not about any of that crap. Keep it to the point. We've got these rights. Now start using them. Talk about them. Don't talk about random shit. Stay on topic. And you can't be prosecuted for this shit. People in the comments, oh my God, I've had several troll channels make videos about my work. And they just send idiots over that are just like, they can't even make points. When they do, they're irrelevant crap. I have people cite like 15 different case precedent as law.
Well, that's everybody. It's that human proclivity for fitting in, man, that makes people that don't have creative, original thoughts gravitate to that kind of trollish.
I kind of understand what they're saying because they've seen cops pull people over on the side of the road a million times. And because of that, they're just like, well, that means it's legal. They wouldn't break the law a million times. Yeah, they would. Stupid.
Yeah, and they have millions and millions, and they do it 10 million times a year. Apparently, we have 10 million interactions with pigs in America.
No, it's way more than that. It's every driver can expect a ticket every 3 years on average. So that's way more than that. There's at least 100 million drivers, I think. So that would mean
the odds, then.
30 million minimum.
Man, dude, I haven't paid a ticket since 2008. And I've probably got pulled over a dozen times.
Illegally seized without a warrant.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Fourth Amendment violations. I could have been I wish I'd have known about this shit 10 years ago.
Well, they'll all break it every time you see them. So
of course they will.
That's why I don't know if people realize that every time I deal with the cops, I ended up arresting someone. Every time. They
always have to,
or pressing charges, whatever, after the fact.
The thing is, man, these pigs can't help it because it's what they do.
Taught.
I mean, they start trouble. If there's no trouble, make trouble.
And no one tells them what it actually is. And because of that, they're not really bound to it, even though technically they are bound to it.
Yeah, they swore an oath, man. Ignorance is no excuse. It's what they say to us, isn't it?
While they're seizing us without a warrant. Yeah.
Yeah, while they're breaking our rights and conspiring to break more of our rights and commit more crimes against us. Sure.
While they're disrupting our business, then they'll say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Yep. That's what they do.
Fucking jerks, man. Hey, don't forget about your 2 fill in the blank fields in that in that first paper, that first motion, the filming in court.
Number one really is I need to get a motions hearing set for this issue, and I can't walk, so that means I don't know what it means.
And just tell them, call them and see. You may need some concessions.
I don't like calling because I want all this in record, and I want it needs to be clearly defined motions. So I need a motion to for a motions hearing.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's put technically, but yeah, I need a motions hearing request, basically, right? And then it needs to be narrowly focused, I guess. We need a full and complete motions hearing later. So this is just one more extra thing because he won't just rule on it. But if he rules on it against me because I wasn't there to say, oh, well, obviously I have the right to this. It's right here. And then he might have agreed with me, right? So you have to be there for this motion to be argued, and the prosecution has to know what's happening so that they can possibly argue against it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just following your lead on all this. They look good. Man, they're scathing, dude. Your motions. I don't know about getting a motions hearing. I don't know anything about that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a plumber with no plumbing. Yeah, man. I hope you come back around with your leg there, man. That sucks, dude. That sucks.
This happens to me pretty often. Just get a sprain out of nowhere for no reason. I'm not even better from my last collapse, and I'm. These people will be like, "Oh, you're so retarded." Yeah, I am retarded. More proof that you idiots are Nazis, you dumbasses. Come on. Nazi means National Socialist. So,
yep.
Are these people Nazis? Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
Absolutely.
Is America a socialist nation? No, it's a capitalist nation. So what the fuck are they? They're invaders.
That's right. They are enemy combatants.
Well, they're at war with us, yeah.
Yeah, they're enemy combatants.
Yeah, they're at war with us.
Of course, they're going to say, no, you are.
No, they declared it.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was declared before I was born. I'm not even 40 yet, so it's been going on my whole life, plus.
1968. Richard Milhouse Nixon.
In a lot of ways, it was, prohibition, though, in the 20s. But, yeah.
Yeah, that was the fault of the women. They got tired of the men having fun,
Somebody
so they
called
took away
me
the
sexist.
boost.
And I told him, like, bro, I think you can be just as dumb as a woman. How am I sexist?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's not sexism. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there are like a dozen channels that get these bimbos to come in and talk about what disgusting slime they are. I know you've seen them. They'll the guys will say, if a dude doesn't have any money, but he's good looking and he's nice and he has a moral compass and a decent job, but he's not rich.
To what these like women will admit is preposterous. It's like,
oh my God.
You honestly want to treat them as equals with property rights and the right to vote and like speaking in public and stuff. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, what?
Yeah, I wish I could say that you're wrong about that, but you're not, man.
I didn't set it down. God did. Their property. Bro, they are given away in marriage, like property. They're given away. And so sold. Then later they're like, oh, court, I have rights and I want a divorce and I want alimony. Like, what the fuck? Your property. When the hell did this happen? My religion is that this woman's property. So how's she bringing a case against me at all?
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
It's a violation of your religious rights to be subjected to this divorce crap. It's all wrong. It's all, the state needs to mind its fucking business is really what it comes down to. Yeah, it's all
socialism.
Yeah.
It's all socialism, man. It's socialism, and the bedrock of socialism is crime. It's crime. You're taking it from this person and giving it to this person or to yourself. You're stealing it from somebody that works hard and giving it away. That's what it is.
For sure.
That's what it is. Hey, listen, man, you get better. I gotta go.
Okay, sounds good.
We have a weather event coming, it looks like, and I need to batten down the hatches. Good show today. We had some meat and potatoes, and thanks for the two regulars that showed up. Appreciate you guys. Kennedy, get well, my friend.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah. All right, you guys.